Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Daily Dose. I'm your host, the one and only Vinny from South Philly. I can't be the only one. There's got to be more than one Vinny in South Philly, but who knows? Let's just say there's just me. What are we talking about tonight? We are going to talk about actor extraordinaire John Goodman. You've seen him. He looks like he lost about 200 pounds because he did. Crazy, amazing weight loss. Miracle. He's 74 years old. But let's take it back, baby. Let's take it back. I first discovered John Goodman in a little known movie called Raising Arizona. It was with him and William Forsythe. And I'll tell you what, that was a great movie. And I think it was, I'm going to take a guess here. I'm pretty good with my guesses. I'm going to say it was 1988. I got to look it up, but I bet you I'm right. 1988, Raising Arizona. And I thoroughly loved that movie. I must have sat there and binge watched that thing before binge watching was a thing. And I watched it like probably 20 times in a week. I just loved it. But anyway, always felt like John Goodman was an amazing actor, and he is. He's a fantastic actor, and he's got a ton of credits. We all know him. Another great old series was Roseanne, where he really became a household name. But before John was a kid from Missouri, actually, and he headed to New York in the 1970s with a dream and an act for larger-than-life character work. He paid his dues in off-Broadway theater, dinner shows, and commercial gigs before landing his big break. And 1988, there goes that 1988 again, he played Dan Connor in Roseanne, and he brought a rare depth of fatherhood to a TV sitcom. You know, I kind of think now, I'm starting to think, Roseanne might have been a lot like... nothing's original, but thinking about it, maybe the Goldbergs is a lot like Roseanne in many ways. I think Goldbergs is probably funnier, though. I hate to say that. No disrespect to the wonderful Roseanne Barr and that whole series, but the Goldbergs are pretty damn good. And so in the film world, John became the ultimate secret weapon. His legendary partnership with the Coen brothers birthed iconic cinematic characters. Again, he played Gail Sears in Raising Arizona, Charlie Meadows and Barton Fink, and of course, the unhinged, bowling-obsessed Vietnam vet Walter Sobchak in The Big Lebowski. How could you forget that classic? And yes, he was in the Flintstones. I remember that. 10 Cloverfield Lane, HBO's The Righteous Gemstones. He played Sully, the voice in Pixar's Monsters. And he's done a ton of stuff. But, you know, he was actually a lot of people don't know this. He was actually facing a health crisis. And right around 2007, he weighed 400 pounds. Wow. That's a big boy. He was 400 pounds back then. And for years, his weight fluctuated wildly. You know, that's dangerous. That's a very dangerous thing when your weight fluctuates that wildly. I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, he go on different crash diets, lose about 60 pounds, gain about 70. And then the turning point came in 2007 when he realized he was facing an early grave. So he was drinking back then. He got himself sober. Congratulations, because that is not easy. And he's quoted as saying, "It takes a lot of creative energy to sit on your ass and figure out what you're going to eat next. I just stopped. I stopped eating all the time." End quote. So that weight didn't just vanish overnight. I don't think he was on the O, but he does credit the Mediterranean diet from what he was eating before and switching from processed foods to fresh vegetables, olive oil, fruit, and fish. I got to do that myself. And my family's from the Mediterranean, so I have no excuse. None whatsoever. He started doing 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day. Very good. Elliptical training. and some boxing training. Okay. And he said he gave up the quick loss mindset instead of thinking of trying to get, losing all that weight once. He just thought of small little habits he could do every day, and it worked. And he dropped 200 pounds. So, like I said, he's 74 years old. He's in great shape. God bless him. I don't know. He looks a little different, right? I guess anybody would. 200 pounds, you're going to look a little different. I don't think I necessarily like the way he looks. I kind of liked him bigger, like Big Lebowski. I thought he was like, that was a good look for him. But just because I like a certain way John Goodman looked doesn't mean it's good for John Goodman. I mean, health is everything, ladies and gentlemen. We got to watch ourselves. We're getting older, and we got to start cutting out all this crap. And, it's kind of a little too easy to buy garbage. It's a lot harder to eat clean. But once you start doing it and you commit to it, and just like John Goodman did, little by little, it's a beautiful thing. I know I was on vacation last week. I was down the Jersey Shore, and every day I'm working out. I'm doing stuff, all right? I'm pulling kids in a cart. I'm on the beach. I'm trudging through that pounding the sand and carrying things and just doing a lot of walking on the boardwalk, and I had so much more energy. I couldn't believe it. I think I dropped a few pounds. I definitely did. I could tell. And I came back and I felt better. I felt better because why? Because I got good sleep. One, that's always a big deal. You have to have good sleep. But also I got a lot of steps in. I moved my body. I energized. And body in motion wants to stay in motion. So it's very important that you keep yourself active, stay positive, and take a page out of John's book, man, and maybe start eating better. Mediterranean diet, it's a good starting place. Again, I grew up with that stuff. My parents are from Italy. I have no excuse. And I'm a very good cook, by the way. I just made myself tonight a beautiful dish of clams and pasta. A little bit of tomato with a white sauce. When I say white, I mean olive oil, garlic, not cream. You don't use cream in fish. You really don't. Sometimes. I won't say nothing if you don't say nothing. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about food, and this isn't about food. Because if I keep talking about food, I'm going to go downstairs and grab some ice cream. So I want to stop it right now. I want to follow John Goodman's example here. So please, if you like what you're hearing, or even if you don't, please make sure you follow, subscribe. I am Vinny from South Philly. You'll find me on my YouTube channel where I do these podcasts. And this category is the Daily Drop. And then my other categories are the live interviews that I do or recorded. And they are visual. You'll see the videos of them. Just interviewed wonderful filmmaker Michael Tove and Eric Roberts a couple days ago. So stay tuned. That's going to drop. A lot of good stuff's dropping. And I got a lot of interviews set up. This is going to be a busy year into next year. But stay with me on this journey. You won't regret it. It could change your life, just like John Goodman changed his. Thank you again for all your support. Love you guys. Stay clean. Stay true. And stay positive. Life's too short. Be good to yourselves, because you may be the only one who is. Until next time, I am Vinny from South Philly, and this has been The Daily Drop on August the 7th, 2026. Take care, guys, and we'll catch you next time.